It's another show. How's my sound? Oh, let me check on here. See if I can see my own sound. Let me have a look. See what I'm... Oh, there's myself. Look. Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay. That all seems to be good. How is everyone? Hello, Sean. Hello, Chris. Hello, Kitty. And anyone else who's waiting there as well. Your sound is great, Robert. Thank you. Good. Glad to know. Thanks, Kitty. And yeah, that was oh yeah. So I want to share. So again, good evening, Pete, as well. Starfish, Pete. I just wanted to. I like to start the show off with from the YouTube list of songs that they've got that you can play freely, and that one was called "A Flute's Morning" by Agash Gandhi. Or as Chris liked to say, it's like being in an Indian restaurant waiting for your Papa Doms or your Mama Doms. Yeah, I know. Sorry. More bad jokes come at the end of the show. Yeah, A Flute's Morning by Agash Gandhi. And it's morning as in, you're not as in like nighttime morning, but as in like a sad morning, like someone passing. Um, so before I go any further, let's make my legal declaration. Good evening. My name is Robert. I'm not a doctor, Robert. This is the Health Freedom UK chat show and news show. And this is all for fun and information. And if you want any proper advice from a doctor, go and see one. Go and see a GP, go and see your MD, go and see a health professional, because I used to be a health professional, but not in the doctor way. More about that later again. Some people know about that anyway, but I've got a story about eyes tonight as well. And I've also got some stories about an unjabbed mum who's been denied life-saving heart transplant. We've got who's declared that the pandemic is no longer a global emergency. Chemists will get new powers to hand out prescriptions. And there's also one to put a little bit of a smile on your face, but I'll save that for you a bit later. And also there's I've got a little bit of a guessing game at the end as well. Just not a very long one, pretty short one. I'll tell you. I'll keep you hanging on, and we'll have another tune right in the middle of the show as well. I'm going to called "Raga of a Thousand Suns" by Hanu Dixit. Introducing you to some new tunes here. Good evening. I'm introducing you to some new tunes. I've also got some old tunes here that I'm not allowed to play, but I just wanted. Here's one about Dinny. Here we are. Look, here's one about Dinny. Let me have a look. See if I can see myself, because I need to go back. Hang on. There I am. How about that? Look, the original 12-inch. Look at that. Eh? That's for Dinny, like a virgin. Yeah. US Dance Remix. Yeah. And how much was that? That was in the bargain basement at WH Smith's for 99p. Talking to Dinny, he rang me today and annoyed me as usual. So he said, "Oh, I'm not going to be watching the show tonight." I said, "I don't give a monkeys. Do what you like, If you want to watch it, you watch it." But yeah. So I said, "Well, let me take a photo of you." I'll say hello to people in a minute. And so yeah, I got a photo of him, and yeah, here it is. Look, I'll just show you. Here it is. There we are. That's what he thinks of all of us lot. You see, look. Oh, it's lovely here, Robert. I'm having this is my second beer. He was drinking with his mate Ziggy, and he tried telling Ziggy that I've got a big nose, which means I'm Jewish. He's such a dick, isn't he? You know, let's not forget, Dinny, we all know, where you're from and what you're all about, we all know. So let's not forget it, let's not forget this. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that one. Yeah, exactly. So when he's watching back, he's probably watching now. He just doesn't want to tell anyone. He just doesn't want to tell anyone. Anyway, how are you all? What did you have for dinner? I had. I always do my fasting during the week, and let's take these out. And I had pasta. I very rarely have pasta. I try and keep my carbs pretty low, but I had pasta, and I chopped up some onion. Um, what else did I have? Oh, some sweet corn. Then I had some cucumber, some tomatoes, and a big bag of lettuce leaves, mixed ones. I love my rocket. I love rocket, and some tuna. Then I put some balsamic in it and some really lovely um, olive oil as well, and some chili flakes. Mixed it all up with pasta shells. It was so good, so good. I try and have one meal a day now, one meal a day during the week. So like that was my last meal. So now I won't eat until after lunchtime tomorrow probably, and that'll be so I'm just like one meal a day. But today I went down to my allotment and I did a little YouTube short. If you want to watch it, I did post it in the Health Freedom Telegram channel and also on Raconteurs News, which has been very quiet. No one's posting anything at the moment. It's just so quiet. Apart from Chris, he posted his conspiracy about the football. He reckons that Brighton threw the game to keep another team in. I forget who it was now. Was it Everton, Chris? I don't know. I'm not a football man. I used to be a football man, but I'm not a football man anymore. But yeah, Raconteur has been the Telegram channel has been very quiet. So yeah, I've done the legal stuff. What else do I want to share with you? So this week I also went, or rather last week, me and my partner travelled up to Sheffield, and we went to the funeral of our late friend Jason, and it was a very sad occasion. It was a celebration of his life, and there was lots of people wearing his Chris will like this. There was lots of people wearing his football shirt, his Sheffield Wednesday shirts. I mean, including Danielle as well, and yeah, there was so many people wearing football shirts, um, and you know how they talk about the different things in that they did throughout their life and stuff like that. And one of them, I mean, I can't remember it all, but one of the most um, um, memorable things that I can recall was that apparently Jason learnt to become a fire eater. I just thought that was hysterical. He was a fire. He learned, and he learned his trade. He trained as a compere in, I think it was a Butlins camp or something like that. So that's where he got his presentation skills from. And I wanted to share with you and to say again, thank you to everyone who donated to the flowers. I'm shutting the donation channel, the Buy Me a Kofi thing tonight because we had a late donation last week, and I'd already taken the money for the flowers, and also I gave the funeral director uh, the um, the excess money that went towards um, the hospice that previously looked after Jason. Um, so I've got to now get that money somehow to Danielle, but I'll just message her anyway, and then she can sort it out. But I did take a photo of the card, and I wanted to share it with you and everyone else because it hasn't. Danielle said that she probably would post something on the channel, but she hasn't done so. These were the flowers that I organised, and so I'll just share it with you. In fact, let me just give it some justice. Let me check my background. Let me take me. Oh no, I can't now because I need to talk to you about it. Hang on a second. Where is it again? There we are. So here's the image. There we go. I hope you like that. That's what I organised as a flower tribute to Jason. It looked absolutely amazing, and Danielle, uh, loved it. She absolutely loved it, and so did Emmy. She thought it was amazing, and it went in the hearse as well when he came when they brought him to the crematorium, and then Danielle took all the flowers as well with her home, and yeah, and so that was at the wake. We went to a pub that was run by Danielle's auntie or something like that, and yeah, so that everyone could see it. And this was the message. I put a little card there as well. I think this is the one. Let me have a look. Yeah, this is the message that I wrote. I said to Jason, "We will all miss you. Love, the Raccoons family." There you go. So yeah, that's it. It just seems weird. Yeah, it does seem a bit weird actually that he's not here. It really does. But he's not, and we've all got to get used to that, I suppose. It's sad, and I hope everyone's doing all right. I hope we're all starting to feel a little bit better. But it will probably take a long time. Let me go to the chat. Wow, there's loads of comments already. So good evening to you. Let me have a look here then. Let me go to the top here. I've said hello to Sean. Oh, right, here we go. Right, hang on. Blimey, there is a lot here. So it was Pete. Yeah, that's where I got to from Pete. Right, okay. Nubin, hello, Nubin. And who else down here? Spanish Chicken. He is not a doctor. He is a tart. LOL. Thanks for that, Spanish Chicken. Yes. Yeah. And who else is in? Let's have a look. Madonna, like a virgin, bargain sign. Yeah, Nubin. That was great, wasn't it? Yeah. Hello, JJ. How are you doing? Welcome. And anyone else here? Good evening, Tony. Non-violent extremist is in the house as well. Anyone else that I've missed? I'm just going down here. Nick GB, good evening as well. Nice to see you, Nick. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad. Oh, thanks, JJ. I'm glad you liked the flowers and everything. I thought it was great. I will show it again a bit later for anyone who's coming in late or whatever. You're welcome, Nubin. Should thank you, Rob. You're very welcome. So yeah, that's the only thing I could think to do. To be honest with you, I did have the idea to do a Rubik's Cube as well. But yeah, I just thought that was the most appropriate thing. It just seemed the most appropriate thing to me. Let's have another look at it. Look at it. Look. It's so and I thought they did a great job on it. Honestly, it was about 20 inches. So it was a good size like this. It really was. And it weighed an absolute ton. It really did. It weighed a lot. So yeah, I've been down in my allotment this week, and it's like a bog down there. I did a short today, and you got to learn. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So yeah, the first mistake I learned about doing my allotment is don't put your tomato plants in when they're too young, because that's what I did. I put them in when they were only that big. Schoolboy error. Real schoolboy error. So yeah, my tomato plants were only that big, and I think only about half a dozen of them have survived. So what I went and did was I got some cloches, these things, yeah, and I put those over the surviving ones to give them a chance I'm not associated with Wilco's, but this is where I got my cloches. £2 in Wilco's. Bargain. Got a little ventilation at the top there. So this should protect them. I'm also going to put some more antennas down there, electroculture antennas down there. I've got some more copper, but I'll be honest with you, I've just been really, really busy. Oh, yeah, so I did that, and I think there's going to be, and I've also planted more tomatoes. So I'm still going to be, I'm going to make sure these ones grow proper height and not leggy like Spanish says. They look a bit leggy, don't they, mate? Also, I at the weekend I went to my partner who's got a house, and she's got a massive garden, and she asked me to build her a raised garden bed. So I've done that, and I'll share that with you. Here we are. Look, here's the raised garden bed that I built. A quick little 30-second video. What do you think of that then? Not bad, eh? Yeah, just knocked that up. She wants another one now. And I said I ain't doing it. I said I'll do another one next year. But yeah, I enjoyed doing it. It was really good. And then what we did was we took I dug I dug over the grass, and then we took the compost that she's been collecting for last year from the corner, and then we filled it with the compost from the 2 compost bins that she's got, and then we put the plants in it, obviously. Oh no, put the cardboard down just to make sure so it gets a nice, so it breaks the earth down properly. Then put the compost on, and then put the plants in it, and then put all mulch around it, leaf, uh, uh, wood mulch, loads of wood mulch to stop her pussycats from pissing and, well, not so much pissing, but shitting all over it, because cats are terrible. As soon as they get some new soil, they go, "Oh, you built me a new toilet? Cheers then. Thanks." I do love the cats, though. Shades for shrubbery. You need an under. Yeah, the thing about my allotment as well, they've got these local bylaws, and you're not allowed to have like polytunnels and stuff there. Yeah, you're just not allowed to do it. It's really annoying because, oh, it'll ruin the look of the place. We don't want that now, do we? No, no, we don't want that. So yeah, yeah. So I can't have any. You can have like these small ones, you know, but you can't have any decent polytunnel. You can't have anything permanent. I also bought netting for my raspberries, and some poles as well for my raspberries to stop the birds from eating them when they start coming up. But fingers crossed, I'm going to have loads of raspberries. I just don't know what to do with all the rhubarb, to be honest with you. I've tried contacting a, a donation place today, but they didn't get back to me. Cat's poo smells worse than dogs. You're absolutely right, Nick. It does actually. What I've done was I actually got another area at the end where we're growing some potatoes. Oh, my potatoes started coming up as well. And I did them a little patch there, and they seem to be going there. And then once a week, when I go around to my partners, um, I just clear it up, and then just get rid of it. And it seems to work, and it stops them from going, in all the places you don't want them to go. So it seems to work. It really does. Yeah, make wine. Yeah, I know Spanish, but I don't know. It's just I might do. I've still got the stuff, the first lot I picked in the freezer. Um, so I just don't know. The jury has found Trump did abuse that tart. He will now face a trial. Oh, is that right, Tony? Wow. Do you know what? I really, really hope. I don't give a monkeys about any of these lot. About any of these politicians. I really don't. Because he was one of the people that said, oh, I got jab really, really quick for everyone. If it wasn't for me, blah blah blah. Well, you know what? Send him to bloody prison. I really don't. I really found not guilty of raping Jean uh, Carroll. Okay, right. Cats don't like electrical earth sheathing, Robert. Okay. Yeah, it is a sideshow. You're absolutely right, Spanish. Yeah, it is a sideshow. So let me have a look. What have I got for you then? What's the first thing I want to talk to you about? I've done that. I'll talk to you about that. I'll talk to you about Jason's funeral. I showed you the flowers. I said hello to you. So yeah, today's stories. The first one I wanted to talk to you about was the effect of jabs on eyes. There's a couple of studies that have just come out recently, and I wanted to share those with you. Let me come back here. So I'm going to pick my words very, very carefully because you know where we are. We're on YouTube, and they don't like that divok word backwards. They don't like that being mentioned, and they don't like the V word being mentioned. So I'll call that jabbed. So bear with me if I'm, if I'll try not to stumble. I mean, I've been pretty good so far, and I'll try and stay on the right side. Let me just star that so I know where the last chat was, and then I'm going to bring in this story. So let's have a look. So first of all, just give you some background. Once again, just to remind some people may not know, but I used to work in the NHS, and I was a diabetic retinal screener. So we used to photograph people's eyes who had diabetes, and we would also grade them and look for um, problems in those eyes. And some of the problems, on a very, very rare occasion, you would see what we call um, um, bleeds in the back of the eye, putting it in an easy way. But what the study I'm going to show you is talking about. It's called talking about retinal vein occlusions. Retinal being in the back of the eye, and a vein occlusion mean like blood leaking into the back of the eye. So that's effectively what's happened. And yeah, there's a couple of studies that have just come out that have shown that this has happened quite a lot. So let's just go to. I'm going to share with you the um, the the two stories. Well, they're not stories actually. Let me just show you. Hang on. Video file, share screen, share screen. So over here, window, Chrome tab. That's the Chrome. Okay, let's go for entire screen. Let's just go entire screen, and then I'll just bring it over. Okay, so let's go to that one. Okay. So this is a study, and it says this is Stratfield analysis of risk of retinal vein vascular occlusion exposed to divok jabs compared with unjabbed individuals in 2 years. And so basically what this shows you, you've got down here retinal vascular occlusions branch, the BRAO here. I don't know if you can see that. That's branch retinal arterial occlusion. BRVO is branch retinal vein occlusion. CRAO is central retinal arterial occlusion or artery occlusion. And then there's central retinal vein occlusion. So in the age 18 to 64, the number of jabbed were 506,701 compared to unjabbed. Okay, and what we see here is the total number of events was 400 in the jabbed and 15 in the jabbed, and in the unjabbed 240. Right. So then you start breaking it down, and basically it's so the BRAO was 95 compared to off the jabbed, and then it was 63 to the unjabbed. Um, age 65 plus, then we go down to the age 65 plus, and this is what we call yeah. So the same thing again, and the jabbed you've got. I'll just do the top numbers: 1,108 people age 65 compared to 520. So it's pretty remarkable numbers, really. If we go to the female, okay, there was 437,682, and again vascular occlusion in the jabbed there was 782, in the unjabbed 359. Um, and then you've got male. Let's go down to this one. White. So again, retinal vascular occlusion, 1,146 in the jabbed, but only 546 in the unjabbed. I mean, I think these numbers speak for themselves. Myself, African American. So retinal vein occlusion, retinal vascular occlusion, 218 compared to of the jabbed compared to unjabbed, 118. So yeah, these numbers speak for themselves. They really do. I'm going to put this in here, and let's also go forward here as well, and just tell you what this study was about. Let's go to the top here. So let's just read this to you. DIVC jabs are associated with several ocular manifestations. Emerging evidence has been reported. However, the causality between the two is debatable. We aim to investigate the risk of retinal vascular occlusion after the jab. This retrospective cohort study used the Trinex X global network and included individuals jabbed with the thing, and between January 2020 and December 22, we excluded individuals with a history. This was interesting, of retinal vascular occlusion, or those who used any systemic medication that could potentially affect blood coagulation prior to jab. So maybe people who were on blood pressure tablets and stuff like that. To compare the risk of retinal vascular occlusion, we employed multivariable adjustment Cox proportional hazards models after performing a 1-to-1 prosperity score matching between the jabbed and unjabbed cohorts. Individuals with the jab had a higher risk of all forms of retinal vascular occlusion in 2 years after the jab, with an overall hazard ratio of 2.19, 95% confidence interval. The cumulative incidence of retinal vascular occlusion was significantly higher in the jabbed cohort compared to the unjabbed after 2 years and 12 weeks after the jab. The risk of vascular occlusion significantly increased during the first 2 weeks after the jab and persisted for 12 weeks. Additionally, individuals with first and second dose of the stuff significantly increased of retinal vascular occlusion 2 years following the jab, whilst no disparity was detected between brand and doses of them. This large multi-center study strengthens the findings of previous cases. Retinal vascular occlusion may not be coincidental finding after the DIVC jab. So that was that one. There's also, and I'm going to put that in the, let me just copy that. Actually, let's go back. Yeah, let me just copy that. There we are. And I'm going to put this in the, copy that into the chat for anyone who wants to see it. Where am I? I'm here. There we go. I'm there. Okay, so let me just put that in the chat. Paste that. And going back now to no, not that one. That one. There's also this one, which is a PubMed. Now, anyone who knows anything about studying reports and stuff, PubMed's one of the most important ones. Again, it's a similar abstract, but I'll read it to you anyway. This was to study was to investigate the current evidence regarding the association between the jabs and ocular vascular events. Um, the protocol is registered, blah blah blah, and an electronic search was conducted through 5 databases, all original articles reporting individuals who were jabbed with the stuff, and develop ophthalmic vascular events were included. The methodology quality of this included studies were assessed using an NIH tool. A total of 49 studies with 130 ocular vascular cases were included. And then it goes on, and it says that vascular events occurred more with the P jab, and the AZ jab. So it was like apparently 81.6%, and mostly presented unilaterally at 73.8%. And now I'm just going to show you some of the. Let's have a look. What is it down here? I think actually it was the other one. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Going down here. So there we go. There's you can see there's the different types. Okay, types of jab used in patients with ophthalmic vascular event. You can see the blue one is the A, and that seems to be the biggest, 43.10. And then you've got the dark blue, which is unspecified, weirdly enough. This one, which was 38, not far behind as well. And then again, it breaks down all the different statistics for you as well here. I just don't know if there was one. There was one that I just wanted to show you. It might have been on the other one that, just some like, where was it? So conclusions: ophthalmic vascular events are serious vision-threatening side effects that have been associated with the jabs. We provided the first systemic review dedicated to these events. Luckily, venous occlusive events that are currently most amenable to treatment were the most common among other vascular events, meaning that they were able to, stop the bleeding with anti-VEGF medication, where they put it's horrible, but they put needles in the eye, and they have to put injections in the eye. These events occurred after the first and second doses, mostly within the first 5 days following jab. Moreover, most events tended to occur in older patients. Further studies are needed to better determine the incidence, risk factors, prognosis, and management of ocular vascular events. I won't show you the rest of it. I think that's okay for me for now. Let's just stop sharing that. Oh, let me put that one as well into the chat for anyone who wants to see it. I'll stop sharing there. Where am I? Let's come back to the chat. Let's paste this here. Okay. So let's have a drink. Cheers, everyone. So yeah, retinal hemorrhages was something that was so rare. I worked with eyes for 10 years, and you were lucky if you saw a retinal hemorrhage that they're talking about. It was like a, I mean, we saw about up to 25 to 30 patients a day. Okay. And I would say that I saw retinal vein occlusions maybe one every couple of months. That's it. And then you would grade it to be, fast tracked. And and that was something really, really rare. So to see, to know that that's happened to me is again, and now and I've also got another story that which sort of again, this it's very much based around the whole Divok thing. Um, let's have a look what the chat's been saying. Let's have a look. Where did I put my? Oh, there is my star. Uh, so you're all talking about Trump. Uh, let's have a look. Oh, Miss Blue Sky's here. Hello, Miss Blue Sky. Better late than never. Uh, uh, you missed it. You missed it all, Miss Blue Sky. You know, you missed my amazing beginning. Um, uh, they're all just chatting amongst themselves. New Being says, I see worm-shaped translucent stuff in my left eye, especially when looking at light-coloured areas. What's that? You've probably just got some floaters, New Being, to be honest with you. You know, that there's something that you notice more in different lights. Um, yeah, and yeah, it looks, and you might think that they move sometimes and stuff like that. There is some evidence to say that if you've got floaters, that if you start eating pineapple and include in the middle the stem, okay, so you might want to juice it up and break it down. That there is some evidence to say that it does reduce that type of effect on the eye. Also, again, I would say to you, take some lutein as well. The capsules that I take. If you want to know, if you want me to show you again, I've shown it before, but I don't know what ones you can. But you want to get lutein, zeaxanthin, and bilberry, and all, and eat dark berries. Very good for the eyes as well. Really, really good for the eyes. Um, uh, and also, if you ever wake up, and this is for anyone, if you ever wake up and you've got loads of floaters in your eyes, yeah, you get straight, you go straight to a walk-in. I would go to A&E. In fact, I wouldn't even go to an optician's. I'd go to A&E and let them photograph or look at the back of your eye with an ophthalmoscope, because that's the first sign of retinal detachment as well. And you don't want to. You can fix a retinal detachment as long as you catch it in time. So if you ever wake up and you've got loads and loads of floaters in your eyes, straight to A&E, straight to the hospital. Mm. Um, Tony gets loads of floaters. It comes with age. Yeah, protein breakdown of the eye. Yeah, it's yeah. Again, it's it's the retina. It's like it's again. It's just breaking a little bit of breaking off. Again, if you take a decent amount of vitamins as well. Remember, fish oil is great for your eyes. Vitamin C is great for your eyes. There's so many vitamins that are good for your eyes. As long as you take vitamins, you should be all right. You really should. Um, too many eyes and too many legs for me, Chris. Good evening, Mascara Snake. How are you? Uh, let's have a look. Good evening, Uni, as well. Nice of you to join in the conversation, the after chat conversation last week. Here's an impression of Uni in the after chat. And then he went, oh, someone told it was Dinny. Dinny told me about a story. Apparently, a guy in Ireland has been was meant to be given a prison sentence, but they put it down to 70 hours community service for having anime porn on his phone. Sorry, Uni, but you know, I just wanted to say this because Dinny told me about this story. Yeah, a guy in Ireland has been sentenced to 70 hours community service. He nearly went to prison for having anime cartoon porn on his phone. What is that all about? I mean, I know that stuff's a bit dodge, but being sent to prison for it or having to do, I mean, what's going on with the world? What's going on? Would floating help with floaters? Yes, I'm sure it would, Nubian. Uh, let's have a look. I posted those links in there. Yeah, Nubian's going to be chomping on pineapples. They do. Honestly, I read a study, and I think it helped me because I started eating it, and my floaters definitely became less, Nubian. So give it a go. Honestly, give it a go. Floaters is causing that. I drink pineapple juice now and then, and I have bromelain supplement. Okay, I don't know much about that one. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, try and buy the whole pineapple, Nubian, and get yourself a juicer and make sure you smash up the middle of it as well. You see, apparently some celebrities have been moving out of Florida because they made it a death sentence for noncing. Says Chris. What? Oh, is that to do with to do with the anime? Okay, yeah. I don't know if anyone's got a story there. Maybe you can look up that story, Chris. I'll share it, or if you can do that. Right, what else was I going to talk to you about? Oh yeah, so going on now as well. Yeah, I'll talk to you about this one. So this story, this is pretty bad, really. Let me come back to there. Where am I? There I am. Right, okay. So I'm going to share this one with you. I won't read the whole story. It's quite long, but you'll get the gist of it. Okay. So let's share the screen. Share screen. That one. And share screen. Okay. So here we go. Unvaccinated mum denied life-saving heart transplant, accuses hospital of discrimination. This is in Australia. A Melbourne mum being denied a life-saving transplant under a no jab, no heart policy has accused the hospital of ideological discrimination for refusing the Divic jab. Vicky Deradirian, I'm going to call her Vicky, okay? Deradirian, 47, has been on a mechanical life support since 2020 after her heart failed and is desperate for a transplant. But the Alfred Hospital deemed her ineligible to be placed on the organ donor waiting list because she is not jabbed against Divic. I think it's a form of punishment, Vicky said. They're set in their ways. Basically, it's no jab, no heart. If you don't have your jab, you're not getting your heart transplant. So there is no long-term study on the efficacy of jabs on pre and post transplant patients. I have a legal exemption from ATAGI, whoever that is, which they are refusing to acknowledge. Despite widespread public attention on her case, Alfred Health is refusing to budge, offering only to meet with Vicky to discuss her concerns. The mother of two suffers from a rare autoimmune disorder called um, sarcoidosis and is concerned about the risk of heart conditions such as myocarditis, pericarditis associated with the jabs. Myocarditis, inflammation of the heart, is a known but rare side effect of the jabs, reported in around 2 out of every 100,000 people, but more commonly among boys and young men. I don't believe that personally, but that's just my opinion. Vicky is challenging their decision in the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal, alleging discrimination under the Equal Opportunity Act of 2010. And there she is, the poor love. Um, The case was heard over 4 days between October and March, with closing submissions on Tuesday this week. Her advocate, Serene, who is representing Vicky, said during the proceedings she asked Alfred Health's representatives if they were aware of deaths and serious adverse effects from the jabs, but was told they haven't observed anything. Typical. But in March last year, Deakin University student Natalie Boyce, 21, died at the Alfred from heart complications 5 weeks after receiving a certain shot. Boyce, the 14th, was the 14th death officially recognised by the Therapeutic Goods Administration (TGA) as being linked to Divok jabs, and the only one Australia's medicines regulator is linked to either of the shots. Her advocate said, despite the fact that it occurred on their own turf, the tragic death was neither revealed nor mentioned by Alfred Health, and she only later read about it in the media. They did not appear to acknowledge that serious adverse effects and deaths were a real problem and they happened at their own hospital, she said. Let's have a look. This is the lady that died, the 21-year-old. Natalie Boyce, sadly. The reason so during the proceedings, the deputy director of Alfred Health, Dr. Angeline Leet, was asked the reason for distinguishing between jabbed heart transplant patients and others who require immunosuppression. The reason is because after heart transplantation, the body's ability to form an immune response to the jab pathogen is reduced. And because we have seen poorer outcomes in these patients who develop something after heart transplantation, it is important that everything possible that can be done to reduce the severity of the illness post heart transplant should be done in preparation for that, she said. Asked whether the same would be true for patients undergoing chemotherapy, Leet replied, "That was outside of my area of expertise." And it goes on, and then there she is, the poor love, poor Vicky. And it goes on to say, "I don't know how long this machine will sustain me," she said. "I don't really have quality of life in terms of what I can do. I'm carrying 5 kilograms on my back all day, every day. I can't do anything quickly. I get dizzy. A 1 kilometer walk is the most I can manage. Also, because of my shoulders, I'm in so much pain all the time. I'm prone to infection. I need assistance showering. I need to change the batteries every 17 hours. I have to carry spare ones with me. And in case they break down, I need electricity at all times. It's like I'm a bionic woman." Name that woman. Who was the bionic woman? She added, "A heart transplant is the only way for me to have a normal life." In a statement, an Alfred Health spokesman said the hospital always provides the best possible patient care that is supported by current clinical evidence and practice. Whilst Vicky remains a patient of the Alfred, she is not a current inpatient, he said. We respect patients' rights to privacy and are careful about commenting on individual patient circumstances. Transplantation is a complex medical procedure, and detailed guidelines for Australia and New Zealand ensure a uniform approach to determining a person's suitability for organ transplantation. He added that while adherence to jabs schedules was one consideration for identifying a transplant candidate, there were also a range of other medical factors that ultimately determine whether a patient can be placed on the transplant waiting list. I think this is just disgusting. I really do. I mean, talk about discriminating. She's been so discriminated. I mean, let's be honest. there's no. I mean, there's no. It's unlikely. Well, yeah, it's unlikely she's going to get a heart that probably wasn't didn't come from someone who wasn't jabbed. If you see what I mean. I just think it's disgusting, really, that they're treating her this way. But you know, um, they seem to make up the rules as they want to go along. And I'm glad this is getting some, some reports around the world, because this is an Australian one. I got this from the New York Post, by the way. So I didn't. I wanted to try and something other than the Daily Snail. Right, let me come back to you, the chat, and see where we are. Who got the Barnick woman? Let's have a look. Anyone get the Barnick woman? No, no, no. Oh, yes, Nick GB. You get a star, Nick GB. Lindsay Wagner. Yeah. Lindsay Wagner. Yeah. Do you know how old this is? Look, these are touring this. I used to be I loved my music. So I used to be in the early 80s. I know I don't look it. But this is now, I think 40 years old. I think it's 40 years old. Is it 40? Yeah, I think it is 40 years old. So this is Shalimar, called Friends. And yeah, you've got what's his name? Jeffrey Daniels. Who can tell me why Jeffrey Daniels is famous? Come on. Who can tell me why Jeffrey Daniels is famous? And he's still in the band, by the way. She's not. I forget her name. I can't remember her name. Maybe no, it's not on here. It's got any pictures. Oh, it has. Look. Oh, wow. I haven't seen this for years. Look at that. Look. Oh, don't you like... I miss vinyl. Although you can still get vinyl. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Judy Waitley. There we go. Could be one of them. Look. Judy Waitley. Great, isn't it? And there we are. Look. There we go. And look, do you remember the days of being able to, where you get the lyrics? I bet Spanish knows. But I know. My brother must have an excess of 50 pints of blood before he died. Oh, he was saying that. Jamie Summers, yeah. Jamie Summers says Mascara Snake as well. Yeah, Jamie Summers and Lindsay Wagner was the Bionic Woman. Who was the Bionic Man? Come on. Who was the Bionic Man? I knew it. Look, Spanish. Got that album, Rob. I knew it. But why why was Jeffrey Daniels famous? Come on, Spanish, you clever clogs. What made him really famous, Jeffrey Daniels? Steve Austin, yeah, Mascara. What was his real name? Lee Majors, Nick GB. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, what's Jeffrey Daniels famous for from Shalimar? What are the tracks on this? I can make you feel good. We're gonna make it a night to remember. Okay, no one's answering. So Jeffrey Daniels was the first. Jeffrey Daniels was the first guy. This guy on the right here. This guy with the sticker over his head and a great fro, I have to say, afro. And he was the first guy to do the moon dance. Yes, Miss Blue Sky. Look at that. First man to walk on the moon. Yeah. He did the moonwalk on Top of the Pops. Yeah, he did. Um, and it wasn't Michael Jackson that did the first moonwalk. It was Jeffrey Daniels. But Jeffrey Daniels actually wasn't even the first person to do the moonwalk. It was done, I think, back in the 30s or 40s by some black guys who were really like, like they got no bones in them. And you can see videos of them, and they do like the moonwalk sort of thing. But yeah, Michael Jackson didn't do the first moonwalk on TV. It was Jeffrey Daniels. He made that famous, and he still does the moonwalk. I saw a video of him. And if you didn't see it earlier, this is one about Dinny. This is one about Dinny. There we go. Look, like do you recognise that woman? She don't look like that now, does she? Ginger Rogers? No, it wasn't Ginger Rogers that did it, Chris. No, I don't think so. No. I like that, Nick. Whoever did the first moonwalk is a liar. Okay, yeah. Who was the astronaut that first did the first moonwalk? Then did he? Fuck. Did he do a moonwalk? My ass. Yeah, he did a moonwalk in probably Elstree Studios or something. Wow, we've done an hour already. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? So I've got another tune for you. It's time for a break. Uni said I'll moonwalk on Robert's backside. I'd rather you didn't, Uni, but you need to leave that bedroom first of all if you want to do that. Anyway, yeah, let's share with you another song from the YouTube. You can go and have a drink. Go and get yourself a drink. I'm going to go and get a beer. Share a beer with you. So here's another tune from the YouTube list of different artists. This one's called "Ragga of a Thousand Suns" by Hanu Dixit. It's only a couple of minutes. So if your name is Chris, you can go and put your shopping away. And anyone else, you can go for a little pee break, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to play this for now. All right. Oh, there you go. Did you enjoy that? That was a Ragga of a Thousand Suns by Hanu Dixit. It was almost like another one being in an Indian restaurant, but you're sort of on your main meal. You're not having your poppadoms. Um, ah dear. What did you do in that? Yeah, what did you do in that little break? Great Hindu tube, or I think you mean tune, Doctor Robert. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it was a great tune as well. Uh, Spanish chicken, 8 poppadoms, please. What do you like with your poppadoms? I like the onion with the coriander and the oh, I love this stuff. This is great. With some mango chutney as well. Oh, let's not forget bit of advertising. There we go. Look at that. I got this for my birthday from my stepson. There we go. Not a Dr. Robert. And look, if you want some salve, you know where to come, you know. The lady in the post office bought 2 tubs this week. Yeah, the lady in the post office bought 2 tubs this week, which was very nice of her. This, if you go Geeta's mango chutney, it's the best. And it's great. If you make curries from fresh, it's really, really good. Add a bit of this to it as well. Mm, yum yum. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, this is a look. This is the year I was born. Look, 1886. Just give him some drink here. Look, there we go. So it's Tuesday night. It's 9:05. Welcome to the Health Freedom Chat and Information and News Show. I'm your host, not a Dr. Robert, and we're going to do some more stories now. Um, let's have a look then. What did I want to also bring to you? I think there was this one as well. Yeah, this is a particularly bad one as well, actually. And I found this in the Daily Snail. So let me share this. Let me present this with you. Share screen. Entire screen. Let's share that. Okay. And so has COVID created? Oh, I said it, man. Ah, slipped up. Has Divot created a generation of germaphobes as children as young as 2 reporting having an unhealthy obsession with hygiene, with one boy who refuses to hold grandma's hand? Most 8-year-old boys have to be reminded to wash their hands, but not Theo Pantelli. For the past 3 years, Theo has been hooked on a rigorous routine of scrubbing them at the sight of a tiny speck of dust, often several times an hour. Poor thing. Each time it has been to exactly 20 seconds, as long as it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice, which he picked up from an announcement by that lovely twat of an ex Prime Minister of ours, Johnson, at the height of the pandemic. Where am I? Yeah. And it's not just his hands. Theo won't drink out of cups at school, even if they are clean. He asks other children to keep at least 2 feet away from him when they're ill. He won't even hold the hand of family members. All these behaviors are driven by a fear of catching a virus which could harm him or his family. They are also the classic symptoms of the mental health condition called obsessive compulsive disorder. And I know a lot about this, and I'm not going to go into why, but yeah, it's a really, really serious thing. The type of behaviors are dependent on the nature of the fear. Studies show that in around 40% of cases, the fear is contamination. Other common examples include worries about being burgled, resulting in obsessive checking of locks on windows and doors. The condition can often be triggered by traumatic life events In Theo's case, this was the pandemic, which began when he was just 5. As a baby, he didn't have these problems, says his mother, Taz, a 31-year-old part-time medical secretary from Hertfordshire. Then Divot turned Theo's life upside down. He would follow everything that was happening in the news about the pandemic because he wanted to know when he could see his family and go back to school. That's when he started washing his hands obsessively. I think it's because he thought it would help get things back to normal. I mean, the first thing I would say is I don't know, why let a child watch telly like that and be scared into doing something like that? You know, there was a mind you, even the cartoons and the kids programs were at it as well. So, but the fact is, I just don't think if you can't control your kid from watching the TV, then don't have a telly. Simple as that. That's just my opinion. Uh, that's when he started washing hands obsessively. I think he thought it would help get things back to normal. Public safety promoting social distancing, mask wearing had a much more pronounced effect on children than most people expected, says Dr. Zenobia Storer, a Manchester based consultant child psychologist. I still regularly see children with red, raw hands from the amount of hand washing they do, and kids who refuse to go to school because they're afraid of catching something. It's worrying because OCD can stay with them for the rest of their lives. It's not the first time that a global health crisis has triggered a rise in contamination related OCD. While the behavior of someone with OCD may be irrational, the basis of their anxiety is often genuine, but this anxiety can lead to intrusive thoughts about the worst possible outcome. Eventually, sufferers reach a point where they believe if they touch something dirty or don't wash their hands properly, something bad is going to happen. In the first 6 months of 2020, when Divot was rife, OCD referrals to mental health services rose significantly in several countries, and many of those who have already been diagnosed found that their symptoms either returned or got worse. In the UK, there was a startling rise in the condition among children. One study carried out at Central and Northwest London Trust revealed that the number of children referred to mental health services for OCD rose by more than 30% on the previous year. Meanwhile, nearly 70% of children with OCD became more unwell. The researchers noted that many reported fears of infection and contamination by Divok. OCD commonly begins to develop around the age of 5, with symptoms becoming pronounced by 6 or 7, according to studies. However, experts are concerned about an unusual focus on cleanliness in some of today's 3 and 4 year olds. Whilst it may not be full blown OCD, these children are at high risk of developing it in the future, they say. One child affected by the fallout from the pandemic is 3 year old Stella Jones, daughter of Sophia Jones, a solicitor from London. She was born during Divok, and all she has known since then is a world which is hyper focused on cleanliness, says Sophia. I carried antibacterial hand wash everywhere with me during the pandemic, and now Stella wants to use it too. She'll point at the bottle and keep gesturing until I give it to her. It's got to the point where I've had to buy Stella her own one to keep her calm. I mean, I don't, I don't know. I just, why can't adults keep, keep their children? Can't they see the damage that's been done? I remember when this was going on, and there was neighbours near us, and I could see that. I went out one day, and there was some children playing outside, and the children. I remember one of the children saying, "Oh, I can't come near you because I might, I might get the thing." I mean, it was just awful. And why do parents not just say to their say to their kids, give them some understanding, give them some reasoning, give them some distraction. you know don't give them the horrors of real life at 3. They don't need it. They're not living in a war zone where they were at the time. But you see what point I'm making. Sophia says that despite the fact that her daughter is too young to understand what what germs are. She is already showing signs of anxiety over hygiene. When I'd come home from work during Divot, I'd always wash my hands thoroughly before I touched Stella because I'd been on the tube. I mean, there you go. But adults alike has also have been brainwashed into doing this stuff. Let's not forget that. So I'm not gonna forget that as well. Now she always wants her hands washed too. When she's eating and gets stuff on her hands, she'll hold them out for me to clean them. She doesn't know what Divok is, but she sees crumbs and dirt and gets concerned. It feels like she associates dirt with bad things. Sophie add, she's at an age where I'm beginning to worry if this is a permanent thing. I worry that she'll miss out on fun childhood things like finger painting and playing in the playground. I don't want her to become obsessive about cleaning like me. There's also concern that schools are still encouraging an obsessive relationship with hygiene. We're still hearing about schools telling children they need to wash their hands before every class, says Arabella Skinner of the parent group Us for Them. All this does is terrify children and make them believe that their bodies are dangerous and can kill others. NHS figures show that prior to the pandemic, the number of children aged 6 to 16 with a mental health problem was 1 in 9. That figure is now 1 in 6. The rise in OCD cases has come at a time when it is more difficult than ever to get treatment on the NHS, says Dr. Storer. It's really concerning because most mental illnesses need to be tackled early. I just want to read you a few comments at the end of that story as well, because I think some of these were quite apt. We as humans need germs. That's how we make our immune systems strong. Yeah. You know, you put your hands in dirt and your body suddenly goes, oh, I don't recognize this. Oh, okay. So this is a type of dirt and it's got this type of microbe in, and therefore I know what it is. And yeah, you need that. Another comment said, no forgiveness and no amnesty for what the government did these past 3 years. Absolutely. Governments hate people communicating and discussing things. And that's what I'm doing with you now. We are discussing things. What have you got to say in the chat about it? Let's have a look. Du- 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 uh, 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 eat your curry fast. Oh, right, okay. All the dips. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, Chris, stupid fucks. Absolutely. Slap the parents is Spanish. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, good point, Chris. The pandemic wasn't traumatic. If you'd never watched the TV, you'd never have known there was one. Yeah, you might have got a cold, bit of flu, as we call it sometimes. I call it a detox now. So you might have got that, but you would have got over it, wouldn't you? Miss Blue Sky says, absolutely, Robert, you got to watch your kids from watching the news. It scares the adults. Can you imagine what it would do on the kids? Who remembers their first horror movie as a kid? It sticks with you, doesn't it? You shouldn't watch it, but you might have snuck it in. You might have snuck a horror movie. You just might have snuck one in occasionally. Um, hello, Chris O'Rourke. The MSM is the enemy of the people. Never forget what they did. Absolutely, Chris. Thank you and welcome. Yeah, Tony says MSM News TV shows are there to train us to be obedient little drones. Absolutely. Kitty says nursery rhymes are all bad too. Yeah, yeah. Spanish is Bar Bar Black Sheep. and he's a black sheep. Yeah, I think most people here are black sheeps, aren't they? I'd say so. Uh, yeah, Nick GB, I would conclude with your opinion there. Germ theory needs to die. Sean Hammer says primary schools are hammering the little uns with mainstream news. It's evil. I don't know, are they? You could be right. You could be right there. I mean, would you? I would not let, if I had kids now, I would have them, I would educate them at home. There's no way. When you see what they're teaching all about the whole transphobic thing and everything, there's no way I would let kids be taught by other people. Yep. Spanish chicken makes a good point there. Farmers have been rolling in shit for centuries. They survive, for fuck's sake. I mean, Spanish is like centuries old, and he's been playing with shit for years as well. I mean, look at him. He's all right. He's got a funny accent, but he's all right. Yeah. Uh, Chris says, my friend, where was I just? Oh, there we go. There it is. My friend had horror movies on sleepovers. It was cockroaches eating people from inside out. Scared the shit out of me. You do, don't you? You remember that? My first horror movie, my parents were out and my auntie was looking after me. And I watched The Devil Rides Out with, I think it was Vincent Price. Scared the shit out of me. Never liked horror movies myself. Nick GB, viruses do not cause disease. It's been proven. It's environmental toxins and the way we choose to live that causes disease. Yeah, I agree. Uh, Amazon are always pushing political propaganda on their employees. Chris should know because he works at Amazon. Thank you for that. Miss Blue Sky, I remember the horror movies from childhood, Hitchcock, but with muted sound. They weren't that horrible at all. Fascinating experience how much sound music influenced the fear in me. Yeah, it's true. Very true. Um, they were sitting them in front of Johnson, Whitty et al. And throughout the scam, Friday, it was the Nonce and Future King show. Yeah, that Future King, by the way, that remember at the beginning of the Great You Know What, he introduced the Great uh, uh, Reset, remember? And he's also passed, I believe, a bill which says that they can give us GMO foods without us worrying about it. Okay, that's about it. I've got another story for you. Where are we? 20 past. Excellent. Okay, we're doing all right. And then there's another one here. Let's share this with you then. StreamYard. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Again, I'm not going to go into great detail with this. Just another one, and then I'll GP recovery plan designed to free up millions of appointments won't work. Royal College warns only solution is to hire thousands more doctors rather than rely on chemists, as Rishi Sunak vows to drastically expand workforce. The government's blockbuster GP recovery plan won't work, experts warn. Chemists will get new powers to hand out prescriptions for common ailments. Officials at RCGP's said the plan was not the silver bullet desperately needed. Um, the government's blockbuster GP recovery plan won't work because of staffing issues, top experts warned today as Rishi Sunak vowed to drastically expand the workforce. Chemists will get new powers to hand out prescriptions for very common ailments under the headline grabbing blueprint. Policymakers hope the scheme, which will take effect by winter, will free up millions of appointments and end the dreaded 8 a.m. scramble. Officials at the Royal College of GPs said the plan, however, was not the silver bullet. Um, the public need to be aware, a professor said, the public need of what's achievable. Change is not going to happen overnight. Politicians think promising faster access will improve services and win votes. Well, he didn't win a lot of votes at the local elections the other night, did he? He's a sitting duck, as far as I'm concerned. Practices everywhere are already struggling with a huge shortage of GPs and other clinical staff, she said. Professor Hawthorne added the only true solution is to increase numbers of fully qualified full-time equivalent GPs, both in the short and long terms, by training and retraining them. We look at the long-awaited NHS workforce plan with anticipation to see how this will be achieved. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. So other measures include investing 240 million in new phone systems to cut waiting times for patients seeking appointments, spending 385 million to hire 26,000 direct patient care staff to deliver more than 50 million appointments by March 2024. New freedoms to allow some patients to access NHS services like physiotherapy and hearing tests without a GP referral, allowing 500,000 women to obtain the contraceptive pill from their pharmacist without speaking to a GP or practice nurse. They can now already. Expanding the NHS app to allow most patients to access their health records and test results online. Forgive me for being cynical, but doesn't that sound like we're going towards the health passport again? Boost GP speciality training, make it easier for GPs who require a visa to stay in England and encourage experienced GPs to stay in the NHS. Ordering officials to devise a system to allow fit notes to be issued by text and email, more than doubling the number of blood pressure checks carried out in pharmacies. I saw also a story about GPs that have moved to Australia, and they're earning so much more money, and they're under less pressure, etc., and they're loving it. So it's no wonder, really, that we're losing GPs. It really isn't. Any other thing I want to say about this? There we go. Proportion of GP appointments with a qualified doctor, 48.2% of a general practitioner. Other practice staff, 49.2% and 2.7% unknown. Graph shows that less than half of GP appointments in March were with a doctor, with more patients seen by a nurse and practice staff. How GPs only count for a quarter of the primary care workforce, but get paid nearly the most. 25% here, 23% on admin, receptionists 27%, nurses 11%, and other health professionals 11%. Is that it? Is that all I want to talk to you about? Yeah, that's all I want to talk to you about. So let's stop sharing that. And I've got another story quickly we'll go to here. Let's share this one as well. This is a bit of so yeah. Also, just before I go, I've nearly finished with all the stories. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Let's share this then. Let's go here. StreamYard. Present. Oh, let's get rid of that comment. Share and hide that. Right there we go. Sorry about that. Present. Share screen again. This was last week, but I thought I'd share it with you. The Divuk pandemic is no longer a global emergency by WHO. They confirmed it on Friday. The deadly virus was declared a global emergency over 3 years ago. However, for the last year, the pandemic has been on a downward trend. On Friday, WHO director and war criminal Tedros has said that life has been allowed to return to normal. Oh, that's good of him, isn't it? Um, uh, this thing has been so much more than a health crisis, disrupting economies, traveling, shattering businesses, and plunging millions into poverty, he said in a press conference last Friday. Therefore, with great hope, I declare that it's over. The global health emergency, he added. He went on to say the public don't shouldn't forget the extensive damage that's been caused. The painful lesson cannot go to waste. He continued, we owe it to those we have lost to liberate those investments, to build those capacities, to learn from those lessons and make sure that suffering leads to lasting change. Uh, he also noted that 7 million deaths were officially reported, but estimated the total was likely closer to 20 million. Let's not forget that the flu went on holiday in that period as well. Divik has changed our world and it has changed us, he said, warning that the risk of new variants still remains. He said there's also a risk of another global health emergency being declared again. And if there is a significant rise in Divik, cases of deaths as well. Uh, It has left and continues to leave deep scars on our world, he acknowledged. Those scars must serve as a permanent reminder of the potential for new viruses to emerge with devastating consequences, not really getting us ready. There's been an estimated 764 million cases of DIVIC globally, and about 5 billion people have received at least one jab. The public health emergency declaration made regarding DIVIC is set to expire on May the 11th in the US. At its expiration, the wide-ranging measures to support the pandemic response, including jab mandates, will end. Yeah, so people can go to America, many other, and travel if you even haven't had your jabs. Many other countries, including Germany, France, and Britain, dropped many of their DIVIC mandates last year. There we go. So let's stop sharing that. And we've got one more story and then a little bit of fun to come. Let's come back to the StreamYard and let's see what's. Yes, Chris, there's going to be a few jokes, a few terrible jokes. So they're about that. They're talking about horror movies and things like that. It's pointless, Chris says, it's pointless even having GPs in this country. They don't help you with anything. Bet the News will never tell the viewers about Charles' relationship with Jimmy Savile. No, it won't. No, it won't. But I did watch a really good YouTube the other day about it. That was a really good one. I think Cookie also talked about it the other day. Yep. Spanish agrees with Tim. Brushed under the carpet along with the Dunblane shit. Shooter even. Chris says Tedros the turd. Jokes time. Never trust a communist, says Chris. Spanish says pure blood's great. Still support those who were coerced though. Yeah, I agree, mate. Chris says cat head jokes. The Duke of Kent is the one who is in charge. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Just before we do a few funnies and a little other thing, um, I just wanted to share this with you as well. It's a very quick one. It's a very quick one. Let's go back and let's present this. Share screen again. So this is my last story tonight. Sorry, chaps. Scientists say there's no such thing as a beautiful scrotum. German scientists analysed survey responses of 653 participants. Participants were presented with 36 images of 4 different scrotums. Researchers concluded we must instead speak of the least ugly scrotums. Scrotox, scrotal webbing surgery, and scrotal lift. They're 3 of the latest trends in male groin tweakments and surgery. Tweakments. With men more body conscious than ever, doctors say scrotum cosmetic procedures are rising. Hey, get it? Rising in popularity as word spreads about them. But men now need not worry, for German researchers have concluded ultimately it is barely possible to identify a beautiful scrotum. In the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology, scientists said we must instead speak of the least ugly. In a study by researchers in the medical school Hamburg, 673 participants were asked to each complete a questionnaire and rate the attractiveness of 36 different photographs of scrotums on a sliding scale. 374 women with an average age of 25 took part, whilst 279 men with a mean age of 27 also completed the survey. Around half were in relationships, and the majority had had at least one sexual partner in the previous 6 months. In total, 461 participants, 200 female, 257 male, also shared they had consumed sexually explicit material online in the last 6 months. Each participant was then presented with frontal photographs of 4 different scrotums. There were 9 versions of each scrotum, which the researchers had edited to have differences in width and length. Participants were then asked to rate all 36 images on a sliding scale from -3, very unattractive, to +3, very attractive. Results showed that almost none of the scrotums were rated as attractive, with most scores being negative. The researchers found that participants' age and pornography use did not affect the score. They were awarded each image, whilst there were a few differences between gender. The researchers noted that previous studies have shown that women perceive a prominent large penis as a measure of masculinity. So any penis that does not meet this criteria could lead to a less positive review, they said. However, their findings show that this was not true of the scrotum. The reason for this may be that the scrotum does not have the same importance for women as does the penis, they wrote. However, scientists acknowledged that their images showed scrotums in a normal range with relatively small differences in size, which may have limited the findings. If image editing had made the scrotums usually large, small, or bulky, the participants might have shown stronger preferences, they noted. All men whose scrotums were photographed were also between the ages of 23 and 30 years of age. They added, in the majority of cases, it's older adults who seek scrotums tightening in future work may elect to include models from a larger range or focus on scrotums belonging to older men. Oh dear. It's all a load of balls to me. Mine is the biggest. What, you got the biggest scrotum? Mm. Big cock ain't no good for small pussies. Simples. You sure about that, Spanish? No, drink whenever he says scrotums. Did they perform the survey on a cold day or after a fright? Beauty is in the eye, mouth, hand of the beholder. Those surveys are bollocks. Pardon the pun. Very good. Uh, Distended scrotums must be a bit embarrassing. Yeah, I'm sure, actually. Oh, right. So going back to Sean's comment there, he also follows it and says that 3 branches of Freemasonry. I see. No, I'm not putting the cat head on. No, not unless more of you ask me to. I could do the jokes with the cat head on. I knew a girl, tight as is not a winding road project, for fuck's sake. It's Spanish. Right, where's my notes? Okay. So here's one for you. Ready? Okay. It's celebrity birthday time. So the singer Billy Joel. Come on then. First, answer the question. How old is Billy Joel today? Don't go looking on the internet, anyone. Come on. You either know this or you don't. How old is Billy Joel today? Come on, guesses, please. Come on now. Roll up, folks. Guesses, please. 20 to 10. Let's be having you. 85. No. Kid, Chris, 62. Spanish, 108. No. Nubian, 82. No. 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 Come on. Cat head, cat head. Yeah, all right. Come on. How old is he? He's in the club. Yeah, I know, Sean. He is in the club. Probably. You're right. How old is he? Chris, 78. No. You're getting close. You're getting close. At 78, you're getting close. Come on. Don't look. No looking on the internet. How old is Billy Joel today? Yeah, I agree, Sean. They all are. 80. No mascara snake. Nope. No Rick Hayward. He's not 69 and welcome. No New Bean 79. No Kitty 80. No 79. No 69. No. Come on. I gave you a clue. So, New Bean's getting close. Look. Come on. Yeah, he's in his 70s. We'll be here all night. 93. Kitty. Come on. Uptown girl. She's been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet guy. Oh, Nick GB. You're close. So's New Bin. Yes. Nick GB gets it. 74 today. 74. Well done, Nick GB. Give that man a round of applause. There we go. And the next one, ready? I haven't got many. David Attenborough. How old is David Attenborough today? How old is David Attenborough today? Come on. So here I am amongst the gorillas, and we're at the WEF forum, the WEF forum, and I think the ice is going to melt, and I'm a complete and utter tosspot. 86, no. Oh, Rick's getting close. 93. Yeah, exactly. You see Spanish? Some people would say, wish he'd hurry up and die. Come on. He's in his 90s. Come on. Look, I'm giving you help. Rick's giving you some help there. Rick said 93. No, Nubian, not 95. Nick says too old. I would agree with that. No, mascara, not 92. Not 94. Anyone seen the serious satanic media agenda on Greg Norman's channel? The info those two guys put together shows that Master Truther guy is a pond skater. Okay. No way is he well old. Yeah, he is, Miss Blue Sky. Kitty, did you cheat, Kitty? 97. Yeah, I bet she cheated. 100. Okay. I've got more. Okay. I've got two more for you. Okay. Paul Heaton of the Beautiful South, the lead singer of the Beautiful South. How old is Paul Heaton today? She's a perfect 10, but she wears a 12. Baby, keep a little 2 for me. She might be sweet 16, busting out of the seams. Still loving the first degree. Ah, when he's at my gate with a big fat head, you ought to see the smile on my face. No one's got it so far. Nick GB, 59. Kitty, 69. No. Come on. Paul Heaton of the Beautiful South. How old is he? Nick's got very close. Come on. Yes, James Owen. Ah, James Owen. He's always lurking in the background there. Well done, James. He comes out of the closet, not in a gay way or anything like that, but you know. Well done. 61. And the last one, if you don't know him, he's very old. Here's a clue. And his name is Vince Cable, and he's of the former Liberal Democrats leader. How old? Last one is Vince Cable of the former Liberal Democrat leader. Come on. How old is he? Vince Cable, former Liberal Democrat leader. He's quite old. I haven't drunk my beer. 96. No. You cheat, Chris. You're a cheat. Chris is a cheat. He's a cheat. Look, he copied and pasted that. You bloody cheat. That's what I think of you. Right then. A few funnies for you. Ready? Okay. You've been waiting for it. Do you know, it's really difficult to see with this thing on, actually. Okay, so let's get punny. Okay? Do you get it? Let's get punny. Not funny, but punny. Why did the Dalmatian go to the doctors? Because every time she looked in the mirror, she saw spots. Actually, that's not the best one, honestly. Next one. This is a good one. I played hide and seek in the hospital, but they kept finding me in the ICU. Oh dear. Uh, why did the doctor laugh at the X-ray? Because it was humorous. Okay, this is the best one. All right, this is my final joke. Okay, and then we're gonna end the show. I've got a disease where I can't stop telling airport jokes. The doctor says it's terminal. Oh dear. Anyway, let's. Sorry about those terrible jokes. Um, let's remind you. I went to Jason's funeral, my partner, last week. For those who didn't see it, let's just remind you. These are the flowers we brought him. For those who came in late. So these are the flowers. Beautiful bunch of flowers. And yeah, that was my idea to have it done with the Raconteurs News colours. A few people saw that before as well. But yeah. And this is the card that I wrote. And it says to Jason, we will all miss you. Love, the Raccoons family. We raised just about 270 quid all in all, something like that. So yeah, that was that. That's been the Health Freedom Show. Let's just go back to the comments. Let's see what people are saying. Okay. Raconteurs News Corona Pizza. It's fab. It did look like the Corona, didn't it? Chris says, did the people at the wake know Jason had a YouTube channel? Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was quite obvious. Yeah, we kept hearing people talking about it. So yeah, no one approached us. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't. I did meet. Oh, and I haven't said this. I did meet Webby, the legend that is Webby. I met him, and I met Adi as well there. But that's the only people that I knew there. But it was I can't remember well, the black ones, they just sprayed Nubian. They just sprayed the flowers. So yeah, it was that's how he did it. I thought it was a brilliant tribute to him. It really was. Um, so yeah, there we go. Hopefully, Raconteurs News will be back on Friday with Jimmy. I haven't heard from Jimmy. I don't think many people have heard from Jimmy. He seems to be a bit quiet. I hope he comes back. I'm sure everyone's missing the show. It'd be great if he could do it. Mascara Snake's got a joke. Here we go. Let's just do it. I went to the doctor and he said I had to stop masturbating. When I asked him why, he said, because I'm trying to give you a medical examination. Oh, very good. Oh, dear. That's that old one as well, isn't it? Doctor. I feel like a set of curtains. Doctor says, pull yourself together. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. It's been, I better put the invite link in, hadn't I? Wow, 10 to 10. Now, remember, if you want to come in, please come in, but do participate. Taylor, yeah? Do participate. It would be great if people participated in the after chat. We have a good after chat. Last week, it was a full house. It was 10 people. Please thumb up the show. Thank you very much, Chris. Please thumb up the show. If you're not a member of Health Freedom News, please subscribe to it. Please thumb up the show. If you want some of this lovely stuff, this salve, go to healthfreedom.co.uk, healthfreedom.co.uk, and you can buy yourself a pot. Or just contact me, just email me, whatever. it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Actually, I made a new batch of myself, and it's now got vitamin B3 because that's all the new rave, which is niacinamide, and it's the new rave in beauty products. So I'm now putting niacinamide in my product as well. So yeah, Chris, thank you very much. 220 subscribers now. Yep, numbers are going up. I'm doing shorts as well. That helps. One of my shorts hit 600 people or something like that the other day. I don't know how it all works. It doesn't matter. It's just a bit of fun. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy, interacting with everyone and bringing you some health news. So, yeah, let's put the post in. Remember, first come, first serve. So there's going to be 9 people can come in the chat. So you click on that link, please, if you want to be in the chat. And can I just say, there's been no Paula tonight. So, Paula, we love you. Where are you? Please come and join us. Please come back soon. I hope you're all well and good. And yeah, I'll probably be back next Tuesday. Shall I say it? See you next Tuesday. All right, let's post it. Here we go. Paste. 3, 2, 1. On your marks, get set, go. There you go. Thanks very much, everyone. Remember, they may come as good as you, but they don't come any better. God bless. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.